What's going on, guys? Just gonna come on here, give my little recap of last night's card. Kape versus Almabayev. Um, yeah, I mean, great card, really good card. It started off a little slow, some decisions, but picked up real quick and then got real entertaining. So yeah, waste no time, just get straight into it. First, fight of the night: Charles Johnson versus Ramazan Temirov. Um, fun fight to start off the card. Temirov, very dangerous guy. Had a very strong first and second round, and then in the third, Charles Johnson, knowing he was down, kind of laid on the pressure and tried to go out there and get the finish on Temirov. Wasn't able to do it, and so Temirov ended up getting the decision. I actually had Temirov by knockout. I thought he'd be able to get Charles Johnson out of there. I guess not. Either way, he got the win. Yeah, big win for Temirov. Now he's ranked. Only 2 fights in the UFC. He's already top 15. So, yeah, I mean, big win for him. Charles Johnson, still a good fighter, still very good striker. Just got to kind of up the output a little bit. Get that offense going a little more, because that's what we saw from him in the third round. He started really late on Temirov, and you could see the pressure was getting to Temirov a little bit. But yeah, just big win for Temirov. On to the next fight. Andrea Lee versus JJ Aldrich. Not a whole lot to say. It's a unranked women's fight, so everyone knew it was gonna be boring. It's exactly what it was. JJ Aldrich got the win. I don't really have much to say about it. There's not a whole lot of potential on either of these two. Yeah, I think I'm just move on from that. JJ Aldrich got the win. Next up, Danny Silva versus Lucas Almeida. Good fight. Really good fight. Both guys good strikers. Both guys are, but yeah, Danny Silva ended up getting the split decision win. I did think Danny Silva won the fight. I thought he did enough. I could see people make a case for Lucas Almeida, but I do think Danny Silva won the fight. Yeah, I mean, Danny Silva, good striker. Just he doesn't really have the power punches going. He's not a very powerful dude. And for Lucas Almeida, he's really got to sharpen up that defense. I mean, he has zero. You heard Dean Thomas talking about it on the broadcast booth. Lucas Almeida, he keeps his chin wide open, or like wide in the air. And yeah, I mean, he doesn't put his hands up either. His only source of defense is offense. Whenever he's in the pocket, whenever someone gets close, he just decides to swing hooks and just kind of pray that he hits you. So yeah, I think if Lucas Almeida were to face like a powerful puncher, or a guy that actually like has a good real good striking, I think Lucas Almeida will get knocked out. I mean, we've seen it against Andre Fili. Seen Andre Fili knock him out, so that really says something. But yeah, big win for Danny Silva. Fun fight. Back and forth from start to finish. Very close, but I did think Danny Silva got the decision in that one. Next up, Ricardo Ramos versus Chepe Mariscal. Again, very entertaining fight. Just 2 guys going back and forth nonstop. Chepe Mariscal has a ton of potential. This dude is really good everywhere. Great grappler, great striker. And he beat up Ricardo Ramos for 3 rounds. Got the easy decision win. Ramos stuck in there though, kept going, trying to get the finish. But I like what the broadcast team was saying, how Chepe, or not Chepe, but anyway, Chepe got the win. He ended up winning by decision. Kind of dominated most of the fight. Ricardo Ramos was just trying to look for that one knockout punch. He's trying to end the fight. Chepe kind of just, he was okay with kind of just like touching him up for a bit. That's what like the broadcast team was saying. He was okay with kind of just like keeping steady, trying to find the punch to finish him. Ricardo Ramos just trying to knock his head off with those spinning elbows like he always does. But yeah, big win for Chepe. For sure he should get a ranked guy next. I feel like he's more than deserved it now. He's like 4-5-0 in the UFC. So yeah, I mean, big win for him. He won by decision. Next up, Austin Lane versus Mario Pinto. Good first round. Very good first round. Both guys got hurt. Very surprised to see Austin Lane drop Mario Pinto. That surprised me a lot, but Mario recovered very well. And yeah, I think he's got some potential. I think Mario Pinto has a bit of potential. You know, he's got some good defense. He did get dropped, but he was defending well the entire fight. And, you know, he's obviously very powerful, got some good striking. But yeah, I mean, that knockout was pretty bad. It was pretty brutal. You know, just the way Austin Lane just, you know, that right hook clipped him and Austin Lane just went right back, you know, just out cold immediately. So yeah, I mean, big win for Mario Pinto. Yeah, I mean, he'll probably get a ranked guy next. There's not a whole lot in the UFC division or the UFC heavyweight division right now, so I'm sure they'll give Mario Pinto a ranked guy. You know, he's like 6'5", you know, he's a big dude, so I could see him making a bit of a run. I could see him being top 10 for sure. I feel like it's too early to tell, though. We'll see. I think he will get someone ranked next. But yeah, big win from brutal knockout. And I was very surprised. He's actually British. That kind of threw me off, you know. I heard him talk and I was like, you know, that kind of like threw me off, the fact that he's British. Anyways, besides that, big win for Mario Pinto. He won by second round knockout. I predicted second round knockout, so yeah, big win. He also got the 50K bonus too, so good for him. You know, debut, got the bonus. Anyways, on to the main card. Danny Barlow versus Sam Patterson. One of the most surprising, like, outcomes I've ever seen, you know? I remember talking to my brother before the fight, because he was asking me, like, you know, who should he pick? And I was like, well, Sam Patterson can't knock anyone out, and he sure as hell ain't knocking out Danny Barlow. And then he goes out there and knocks out Danny Barlow in the first round. So it's like, what is happening, you know? Sam Patterson, yeah, I mean, easily one of the most surprising results I've ever seen. Obviously, Danny Barlow is a very good striker, you know, very sharp, very dangerous guy. And I thought for sure he'd beat Sam Patterson because he had like everything he needs to beat Sam Patterson. He's a very sharp and very powerful striker. And Sam Patterson doesn't have very good defense. He hangs his chin like way up in the air. It doesn't defend very well. But Sam Patterson just knocked him out, just caught him and knocked him out, which was insane. You know, and Sam Patterson's a grappler. He's like primarily a submission guy, and he knocked out the striker. So it was very surprising to see that. Yeah, huge win for Sam Patterson. I'm blown away he didn't get a bonus tonight or last night. I'm very surprised they didn't give him a bonus. That's kind of crazy. But yeah, huge win for Sam Patterson. He's definitely becoming a guy to look out for at welterweight. Definitely getting close to a ranked guy as well. I think he's 3-0 since moving up to the welterweight division. Obviously lost by knockout in his debut because he fought at lightweight. Went up to welterweight and he's just been running through these guys. Three fights at lightweight or 3 fights at welterweight, 3 finishes. So yeah, good for Sam Patterson. Big win. Very surprising too. Up next, Haider Amil versus William Gomez. Very close fight. Very, very close fight. I honestly think it could have gone either way. I can see why people think Haider Amil won. I can see why someone would think William Gomez won. I haven't really seen many people say William Gomez won, but I think this fight was a lot closer than people are, you know, like saying. I feel like people kind of disregard the fact that William Gomez won the first round very clearly, and he was winning the second round too a little bit. I feel like, again, people kind of disregard that because of how strong of a third round Haider Amil had and how strong of like a second half of the second round he had. So, you know, I think it was a much closer fight than people are saying it was, but I can see why Haider Amil won the fight. But I could also see why Gomez won the fight. Either way, very good fight. Very, very good fight. Haider Amil, you know, constant pressure at all times, even when he was gassed out completely, just constantly putting pressure on. He reminds me of a not ass Chris Matinho, you know? He reminds me of a Chris Matinho that can actually fight properly. But yeah, I mean, Haider Amil, dangerous guy, good striker, and crazy pressure too, even when he's gassed out. So big win for Haider Amil, beat a good guy, William Gomez, who was right outside the rankings. But yeah, Haider Amil, big win for him. I think he's 3-0 in the UFC now. Yeah, big win for him. Up next, Nasrat Haqparast versus Esteban Ribovics. Of course, the only fight I missed on the card is the fight of the night, and I knew it would be too, but I ended up missing the fight, which so I don't really have much of an input on it. I've just heard that it was one of the best fights of the entire year. Um, yeah, I mean, I wish I could say much about it because of how hyped up it is. I still haven't seen the fight. I've seen that it was a close fight, and then you know, um, yeah, I've seen it was a close fight, but yeah, I mean, Hack Press got the win. I was kind of surprised to see that. I thought Rubivics would for sure take this one, especially with how Hack Press fight against Jared Gordon went, where it was actually, in my opinion, a pretty bad robbery. I thought Jared Gordon for sure won that fight against Hack Press, but yeah, I mean, he got the win somehow against Jared Gordon, and I guess he got the win last night against Esteban Rubivics, which, yeah, I mean, that's a big win. Rubivics has a lot of hype around him, especially after his fight of the year contender with Daniel Zellhuber, which I did think Zellhuber won that fight too, but yeah, I mean, big win for Hack Press. Fight of the night, I've heard it's one of the best fights of the year, so yeah, I mean, good for those two. Good they got fight of the night as well, obviously. So on to the co-main event, Battle of the Bums, Cody Brundage versus Julian Marquez. Honestly, two of the worst fighters I've ever seen in my life. Obviously it was very entertaining. I'm not taking away from the fact that I'm not saying it wasn't a very entertaining fight, but yeah, I mean, these two just sucked flat out. Cody Brundage almost got knocked out by Julian Marquez. Just let that thought get through your brain. Yeah, I mean, Cody Brundage got the comeback, I guess. Finished Julian Marquez in round one. It was an entertaining fight. I'm not gonna take away from that. It was very entertaining first round. Both guys got rocked bad. Cody Brundage ended up getting the TKO win. So yeah, I mean, I guess good win for him. I heard it was the last fight on his contract too, so he might get re-signed. I doubt Julian Marquez is gonna get another fight in the UFC. He's fought 4 times in 4 years. He's been knocked out all 4 times. So yeah, I mean, I guess good win for Cody Brundage, good for him, but still don't like him much. Anyways, on to the main event. Manel Kape versus Almabayev. Wow. Manel Kape is incredible. Flat out, he's incredible. He is so good on the feet. Now, yes, it was controversial. The finish, not only the finish, like the eye pokes, a lot of people are talking about the eye pokes, and it was a very early stoppage by Mike Beltran. I don't know why Mike Beltran stopped it there, but you gotta think, like, I'm not, like, defending it. It was very controversial, and it probably should have, the fight probably should have been, like, halted because of the eye poke, but either way, Manel Kape looked incredible last night. He looked so good. His striking is insane. His takedown defense is insane. His power he hits real hard. He had Almabayev rocked pretty bad. And yeah, I mean, I think that Manel 100% deserves a fight against Pantoja. I think he is for sure next in line for the title shot. And I think that Manel Kape is honestly a nightmare matchup for Pantoja. And I know that's crazy to say because Pantoja, it seems like nobody's a nightmare matchup for Pantoja. It seems like Pantoja's the best, But I think Manel has a very solid chance. I think that out of anyone in the entire division, Manel Kape has the best chance of beating Pantoja. He's so quick on his feet. He's so light on his feet, so it's really hard to get to his legs. And that's like Pantoja's main thing, is try to get the guy down and just maul him. And it's very hard to maul a guy when you can't get a hold of him, And I think that's what Manel has. I think that's where Manel has the advantage from every other guy that Pantoja's fought. Like, he's so much faster on the feet than Moreno or Steve Urseg or Brandon Royval, And his takedown defense is so good. Like, the way he sprawls everything, it's really good. And I think that Manel Kape is a nightmare matchup. I think Manel Kape's the worst matchup in the division for Pantoja. And I think Manel Kape has done more than earned a fight against Pantoja. I think he is next up for sure. And I think if they don't give it to him, then that is horrible. He 100% deserves it. So that's the fight I'd like to see next. But yeah, I mean, that's about it. Controversial end of the card, again, with an eye poke thing, back-to-back cards, But either way, great card, very, very good card, very good fight night. Back-to-back, actually. Back-to-back, very good fight nights. It's a shame this one was in the Apex, but yeah, I mean, very good card. I was very happy watching this one. I'm happy with the results. Although the main card didn't really go my way. I got the first 3 fights on the main card wrong, but either way, good fight night. I will see y'all later.